What's going on, guys? Preston Talk here, back again with my AEW Dynamite review, and I guess this week was a bit better than last week. A couple of things, like I want to talk about this whole Anthony Ogogo Cody Rhodes feud. When you had I'll talk about that later on, but we started off Dynamite this week with Matt Sydal versus Christian. It was a good opening match with Matt Sydal and Christian. They had a good opening match. You had Team Taz coming out attacking both guys, and then Adam Page comes out and tries to save Christian and Matt, and basically Dark Order come out and help clear all the guys out of Team Taz, and that was it. Basically, just building up for Adam Page and Brian Cage's match at the pay-per-view, which is the next week. Um, then we had um, Rebel versus Sheeta. Rebel wins by tap out. Sheeta taps out, and then they promote that Sheeta's gonna have a 1 year title anniversary segment next week. Why? Like, nothing against Sheeta. Like, she's a good wrestler, but what has valid her having a 1 year segment, a 1 year anniversary of her title reign, when she's been the most irrelevant. She's had an irrelevant an irrelevant women's title reign. Um, she's barely on television. When she's on television, she doesn't act. She doesn't feel like a world champion. That's on not solely on her. That's solely on Kenny, because he's booking these women, and you look at some of these women he has booked, and I'm like, what the fuck are you actually doing, Kenny, with these women? Like, you're booking this women division bad. Like, you've got some good women that you could build a division around. Britt Baker, Red Velvet, Jade Cargill, all these different women, Thunder Rosa, but you want to put it on somebody who Sheeta. No against Sheeta. I think she's a good wrestler, but she's not the girl right now to carry your women's division. Britt Baker is the hottest project right now in AEW for the women's division. Kind of second to Aki, and then you will say second Jade Cargill, or maybe you know what, guys, what I mean. Um, and she's the girl, and she should be the one that goes over at the pay per view, not Sheeta. But I'm digressing for what I said here. Like I said, Sheeta loses the match. Then we have a SCU segment where basically Daniels tweets something that he's hinted of a retirement or whatever, and then he shakes Kazarian's hand. So they're kind of playing off his Kazarian is Daniels gonna actually retire. Then we have the Acclaim versus Mox and Kingston versus the Acclaim. It was just a squash match. Then we have a Kenny Omega. This is your world champion, Kenny Omega. He's actually got a segment middle of the show, and he basically tells Orange Cassidy, he says that he wants him to take himself out of the title picture. Orange Cassidy just rips the contract, tears the contract up, and basically that was it. Really, this is your world champion, Kenny Omega. And he's been world champion since January. No, now in my opinion, put it on somebody like. This is why it needs to go on MJF. Here's MJF, and I'm going to talk about it in a minute. MJF is cutting great promos week in, week out, and you've got Kenny as your world champion. Like, MJF is a star. He's a star that you could carry your brand on AEW and actually build and maybe bring in some fans with MJF if you actually build and book this guy correctly. But you have Kenny Omega, who I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler, he's a good wrestler, but him as world champion is not cutting it for me. He doesn't cut it as world champion. He should not be the guy who's carrying your company. At all, because let's be honest. Since January, he's main evented 2 Dynamites, and he doesn't even act like world champion. If you're gonna actually act like world champion, look at your previous 2 world champions, Jon Moxley, and even your first world champion, Chris Jericho. Even though Jericho's a bigger star than Moxley, at least even Moxley carried himself as an actual star and to present himself as a star, and he actually kind of felt like a star. You look at Kenny Omega, and he's just basically middle of the show. He's the curtain jerker. He's whatever. And yeah, as soon as the belt's up Kenny, the better. Then we have Anthony Ogogo versus Austin Gunn. It was a short match. Ogogo gets the win, and this is my problem with this feud with Cody and Ogogo. They've booked this so badly with Cody and Ogogo, where you've had Cody as the face, and he's like, "Oh, me and Brandy are having a mixed baby," and whatever. And then here's Ogogo, who's got a good story, and he actually is a mixed race guy himself. So what the fuck are you saying that to a mixed race guy, Cody? Like, do you not think Ogogo's had the same problems, the same issues of race that anybody else has had? He's the same color. He's the same. He's mixed race. So what the fuck are you talking about, Cody? This whole thing doesn't make fucking sense. Who the fucking writes this shit? And Tony Khan is approving of this fucking shit. Cody coming out and talking about his baby shower and stuff like that. Congrats on the baby, and I hope that your kid is healthy and great and everything, Cody. But do not have it featured on television. It doesn't need to be on television. And if you're gonna do this feud correctly, have Anthony Ogogo as the face, because actually, it comes off better if he's the face and Cody's a heel, because let's be honest, Cody is the fucking biggest dick in the world. You know, people can say, oh, Triple H holds people down and whatever, plays politics, but Cody's doing the same thing. Whoever debuts on AEW, it goes through Cody Rhodes and whatever. He may not have the reign of terror what Triple H had, but he still does the same shit. So what the fuck are you talking about when you actually complain about Triple H for the reign of terror, but you don't call it when Cody Rhodes did it? Come on. And this whole thing, and I hope that fucking Go-Go gets the win against Cody, and that's it. He just beats the hell out of Cody Rhodes and stuff like that, because Cody's gonna have the big spotlight. If you're gonna have a big spot, Cody, turn heel. Why every week you're booking yourself better than your actual world champion? And it makes me wonder, should you be the world champion over Kenny Omega? But anyway, I'll sorry about that rant, guys. But then we had a Miro promo, and he's beating Lance Archer. Then we had the main event of the night. It was then we had a Red Velvet and Serena match there for the for the NWA Women's title. Serena retains. Then we have the main event, which is the Young Bucks and Varsity Blondes. The Young Bucks go over. And then after that, Mox and Kingston basically beat up the Young Bucks, they put them to sleep, and then they steal those sneakers, and then that's how Dynamite ended this week. So, yeah, leave your guys' thoughts in the comments, guys, and peace.